For 62 years, South Korea had a law against adultery. And it was a situation where people would actually get prosecuted if they were caught committing adultery. In fact, as many as 53,000 South Koreans did get prosecuted for either cheating on their wives or cheating on their husbands. Okay, so it didn't just impact men. Women got in some trouble as well. In fact, there was recently a female actress in South Korea who was accused of cheating on her husband, and she was outraged by it. I don't know how that ended up, but people would serve as long as 2 years behind bars if they were caught cheating on their significant other or their spouse.
By the way, her name was Ok Sorry.
Sorry.
But it turns out she got a suspended sentence because everywhere in the world, if you're famous, you're going to get off a little lighter than others. But people go to jail over this stuff.
It's amazing. So why have the courts in South Korea decided that they are going to do away with this law? Well, it has become difficult to say that there is a consensus on whether adultery should be punished as a criminal offense, 5 of the court's 9 judges said in a joint opinion. It should be left to the free will and love of people to decide whether to maintain marriage, and the matter should not be externally forced through criminal code. Now, when I read initial reports on this, and you know, a lot of articles have very few details, I was like, I can't believe that this law even existed. Like, I don't agree with adultery. I don't like it. I like monogamy, right? But it turns out that when this law passed decades ago, there was a point. Okay, so women were not as independent as they are now. They didn't have any way of making money. They were very, very dependent on their husbands. So if their husband cheated on them and left them, they're screwed. They don't know what to do. So this law was meant to protect them. But this is such an antiquated law now because women are more independent, they're making their own money, and if someone cheats on them, it's not the end of the world. And
that's a charitable way of looking at it. Of course, another factor could have been that Korea is very Christian at this point, and so there's a lot of, you know, Christian ideology that goes into morals and make sure that, you know, you got to follow everything in the Bible, and you're not supposed to cheat on your spouses. That is clearly in the Bible. So a lot of things went into this, but yeah, from our perspective, it seems unbelievable that you would put someone in prison for, you know, cheating on their wife or husband.
What would happen to Tiger Woods? Would he get 2 years for every woman that he cheated on his wife with?
Could you imagine? They're like Tiger Woods going away for 40 years.
Considering how many people he slept with, it would be a life sentence. Okay? Yeah, he's gone.
It's possible it would be.
The law has been challenged before. In fact, it's been challenged about 4 times at the Constitutional Court since 1990. So it wasn't until now that the judges were like, yeah, this kind of seems antiquated. Maybe we should get rid of it. Now, more than 5,000 people who have been indicted on adultery charges since that 2008 ruling can now seek a new trial, or if they have not been convicted, demand that the charges be dropped. So this is good. There are some people that have been convicted of this. Some people have served time behind bars because of this. It's insane.
Now, we impose our morality in different ways and have in this country for a long time. So, for example, sodomy was illegal in many states until the 1990s, until the Supreme Court weighed in. So, look, we think they're mental, but we're also mental. You know what's really crazy? Trying to impose your morality on anyone else.
Yep.
It's not your business. Let them do whatever they want. But so, and part of the reason we dropped this in the United States, now remember, if you're a good Christian, you're not supposed to cheat, and that used to be a big thing. But they lost that battle, right? And they realized, oh my God, if I start moralizing against people who are cheating, that's going to be half my congregation, okay? So I got to cut that out, and I got to find a new target. And one of the new targets they found were gay people. So they were like, oh, we didn't mean you can't get divorced. Remember, the Catholic Church was huge on that for a long time.
Of course.
Like, they're like, yeah, technically you can't, but we don't care about that anymore because half of you are divorced and you wouldn't come to church if I did my whole sermon against divorce, right? Oh, we didn't mean you can't cheat around on each other. I mean, technically you can't, but we're going to stop talking about that because then you wouldn't come to church.
Yeah.
We meant we hate gay people. I mean, we don't hate them. We just don't want to give them any rights, right? And round we go.
Yeah, it's insane. I think the most interesting part of this story, though, is how this new decision by the judges in South Korea had an impact on the stock market. Okay?
Oh, really?
Because news usually has an impact on the stock market. So let me tell you exactly what it was. So share prices for the leading condom manufacturer, Unidis, rose by nearly 15% on Thursday. Shares of Hyundai Pharmaceutical, which markets so-called morning after birth control pills, rose 9.7%, a gain that stock market analysts also linked to the ruling.
That's funny, man.
So people are like, cha-ching. And by the way, one of the issues with the law wasn't just that it was antiquated, it was also that it was really, really difficult to prove it, right? So how do you prove that two people have been fornicating unless you do like a raid or something? And they used to do that. They used to like raid hotel rooms or motel rooms to catch people in the act.
Yeah, I mean, this law is so bad. It was soul crushing.